Hello, my name is Manuel Rocha, and today I will present my actual research project, which is titled The Impact of Immersive and Scaffolding Strategies on L1 Use in EFL Classrooms. This study was conducted at the Tecnológico Nacional de México in Los Mochis with A1 to A2 level university students. Sorry. I chose this topic because I observed that students relied heavily on Spanish during my lessons, and that was something that limited their participation and their opportunities to practice English. Okay, that is why I wanted to explore how I could reduce this dependence and promote more English use in my classroom. Okay, the research focus. This study focuses on beginner levels university students in two different settings. Okay, I had face-to-face undergraduate group, and I also had I still have an online graduate group. These are two different contexts, but I noticed that they had a similar pattern. They were relying heavily on Spanish when trying to express their ideas. Okay, with the face-to-face group, this it allowed me more direct interaction. However, with the online group, this other group depended more on tools like the chat or even the WhatsApp groups and breakout rooms as well. Despite the differences, I was able to get, like I said, they had a similar pattern, but I was able to get similar results as well. Now, since they were trying to express their ideas, but they were going back to Spanish, this was limiting their exposure to the language and affected their participation, confidence, and willingness to speak or communicate in English as well. So to guide this study, I focused on three main research questions. First, I wanted to understand how often L1 was used, not only by my students, but also by me as a teacher. I also wanted to see how my teaching strategies and how reducing L1 affected my students' motivation and participation, as well as the English use in my class. And lastly, I wanted to see how my own teaching decisions shape the classroom interaction. Okay, the goal here was not to eliminate Spanish from my classes completely, but to reduce the unnecessary use and encourage more meaningful communication in English. Okay. The strategies or actions. To address this issue, I implemented different immersive and scaffolding strategies in both groups. My aim was to create an immersive environment by using English as the main language of instruction as much as possible, which, as you all know, is impossible. Okay, like I said, the goal was not to like just eliminate Spanish, but I wanted English to be the main language of instruction at least. At the same time, I use scaffolding techniques to support comprehension, such as gestures, visual aids, and simplify language to make input more understandable. Okay, like I said, I was working with university students, sometimes gestures. They take gestures as as jokes, but honestly, they still worked. Okay, they were able to understand what I was trying to say to them. In addition, I included pair work and group work to encourage collaboration and increase opportunities for communication. And this was honestly something that they really liked. They loved working in groups. So this was a really good strategy. Um, these strategies, like I said, were applied in both settings, but I had to adapt them slightly depending on whether the class was face-to-face or online. The evidence collected. To analyze the impact of these strategies, I collected data over 4 weeks in both groups, the face-to-face and the online. I used three main tools to collect this data. First, I had a teacher reflection journal to record my observations and teaching decisions. I also had classroom observation templates to document patterns such as participation, engagement, and language use. And finally, I also collected a student work samples to see how my students used English during activities. These tools help me identify consistent patterns in both environments. I was honestly, and this is something I will touch in a little bit, but I just wanted to mention the lesson observation templates were done twice a week, and the reflection journal was done once a week, and before the student work analysis I used like 3 times over the 4 week period. Okay. Key findings. The findings showed three important patterns that were consistent in both the face-to-face and the online group. Uh, First, the use of Spanish decreased over the 4 weeks. At the beginning, students in both settings relied, like I said, heavily on Spanish. They were going back to Spanish when trying to express their ideas. But by the end of the 4 weeks, they were using more English during activities. I'm not gonna say that they were like speaking only in English, but they were the difference was noticeable. Second, participation increased significantly, especially during activities that they did in groups or in pairs. Okay, and this worked with both in both settings, with the online group and the face-to-face. They really liked working in groups, and that's where I noticed that participation as well as their motivation increased. And third, the students used more English when they were giving support. Something that I also used was sentence frames and guided activities. I think some of you mentioned as well that sentence frames work for you. They also have proven to work for me for university students as well. Now, even though the learning environments were very different, like I said, the results were very similar, which suggests that these strategies are effective across different teaching contexts. Moving on, excuse me. The impact on teaching, on my teaching and the students. These findings had a clear impact on both the students and my own teaching practice. For students, I observed increased confidence, also increased willingness to speak English, and this applied in both groups. This was true in my online class as well as my face-to-face class. Because even when in an online setting where participation can be challenging, since we're not really interacting with each other, and the students could lose focus easily, I observed that these strategies that I implemented worked really well with them. Okay, they really wanted to participate and share their ideas, trying to do it in English. Now, for me as a teacher, this process also helped me understand how important my instructional decisions are. Okay, I realized that when I provided clear support and created opportunities for interaction, like group work or pair work, the students were more likely to participate. And not only that, but also use English more independently. Okay, what's next? Moving forward, I plan to continue using immersive and scaffolding strategies in both settings. I also want to include more structured speaking activities to further support participation. And at the same time, I will focus on reducing unnecessary use of Spanish. That's something that I'm already doing, but that's something that I want to continue doing. Okay. And again, that's my goal is not to eliminate Spanish completely, but to use it when needed. Additionally, I would like to improve my data collection process. I honestly think that the data I collected wasn't enough. So in future research projects or cycles, I could have a more consistent data or something that I could really say that I could work with percentages per se. Okay. Because like I said, I only worked, I collected the templates twice a week, the journal just once a week. So perhaps if I did it like after every other class, I could have more data and my results could be better. And that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. I will be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Manuel. Was very interesting. And anybody would like to comment or ask the question?
I would like to say something and also ask the question, but first, great job, Manuel.
Thank you.
I enjoyed hearing your presentation and to see that we were connected like with the topics and without talking about it because we didn't share that like which were the topics and we had that coincidence. What caught my attention from your presentation is that you were working with online classes too, so that you were doing your research in online classes too. And I really don't like online classes. For me, they're very challenging and complicated, and I don't like that. So I would like to ask you if like in your experience, do you think it was harder for you like to get information for your research project, or if it was like the same compared to the face-to-face, or what can you tell me about it? Like the difference between the face-to-face and the online classes.
Okay. Thank you, Yuki, for your comments. And to answer your question, yes, I think online classes are, I wouldn't say that they're very difficult, but they're more challenging than the face-to-face classes. However, honestly, I think with the technology and all the tools that we have now at hand, it wasn't really hard for me to like collect the information or the evidence for this research. Um, because like I said, the immersive strategies that I used were like that my students really liked were like working in groups. And well, myself as a teacher, I work with Teams when I try to have like my meetings with my students. And Teams has this cool, and I think Zoom has this feature as well, where I could have my students work in groups, and even if it's online, I could break them into different groups. Okay. So no, honestly, I don't think it was harder. I do suggest and that you lose or break out of that fear and try to teach if you have the opportunity on online class. You'll see that with the tools available right now, it's not, I wouldn't say the same, but it's not as hard as it sounds or it seems to be.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
it's
so
really
much.
practice, right? And then like a routine. So yeah, then it becomes easier all the time, especially with the new technology that we have at hand, as you said. Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
This is my third grade teaching online, and honestly, it's becoming easier and easier every time.
Yeah. Well, I love online classes, so I'm on that side. I'm an online teacher side, so and online classes are here to stay. So we need to just kind of, as you said, read out of that fear.
Mhm.
So it becomes something normal, common for us. Okay. Anybody else would like to comment something? Any questions? Yes, Ingrid, go ahead.
Thank you. I was just wondering how do you feel they were feeling when they started to use more the second language and not the first language? Was this something difficult for them? Because you said that they were in university, right?
Mhm.
And I believe that it is more difficult for adults or people that it's older to start speaking the language because of we are nervous, because we don't want to get judged. We are like always thinking about what others are going to think about we are always saying. Even though right now you said you were nervous, I was nervous too because we are thinking about what the other people is going to think about ourselves and all of those elements. What happened with your group because of the age that they have?
Honestly, and thank you, Ingrid, for your comments and your question. Honestly, I don't know if I'm lucky, but I think I had a really good group. For some reason, they all got along really well. So even, like I said, even if I put them in groups or like working with different people that they had not worked with before, they did an excellent job. And for some reason, even if they were like using English as a joke at first or trying to be funny, they were still practicing, or they were even not just using it as a joke, but they were actually speaking and creating or forming complete and correct sentences or utterances. So I honestly wouldn't say that I asked them, but I noticed that they felt really comfortable using the language. It wasn't really hard, honestly. I feel like the strategies that I implemented were very useful and that they, for some reason, accepted it or accepted them really well. So to answer your question, I think they felt good.
Okay, thank you. And I think that the teacher has something to do also because they were comfortable.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Okay. Well, excellent job, guys. All presentations are very interesting, meaningful, and I hope you also enjoyed listening to your peers and, well, also having this experience sharing. I hope it's not the last one. So you continue in your teacher development. I'm not sure if somebody else is presenting today or that's all. Okay, so then I'll see you tomorrow. We have the last presentation tomorrow, guys. And well, we have remaining time just 1 minute. So then I would have to say goodbye. And I was glad to see all of you. So see you tomorrow, guys. You're welcome to come if you want to observe your peers.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
Okay,
guys.
bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Bye.
you.
Lana.
Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.